Autism is a neurological condition and it affects how the brain works. So it affects brain functions in three main areas, which are communication, theory of mind and social skills.
It's a spectrum condition. We talk about the autistic spectrum, and what that means is that you can have some people at one end of the spectrum who have very high IQs but still need an incredible amount of support to be able to live independently. At the other end of the spectrum, you've got people who can be non-verbal and require significant amounts of support to live their lives.
There's a sort of another sense. It's a sense of being. It's a sense of being part of the human race, of fitting in, to be able to communicate, the sense of communication, the sense of language in its broadest sense, not just talking, but body language. And I think autism is, if you like, a problem within that sixth sense.
You know what you were saying about it being, you don't like it when it's noisy and you don't like it when it's crowded and it's too many people and it's really confusing.
And no space.
And no space and stuff like that. Those feelings are part of your autism, aren't they? They're part of the feelings that you get because you can't always understand all the noises and the people and stuff.
Perhaps things are even more different to you than they are to me. But do you think that that's a good thing? That everybody has we have these differences?
If you can imagine your brain has got loads of cells or wires sort of attached to each other. Someone who's autistic or Asperger's maybe have some of those links missing. What they might do is they might connect them into the wrong sort of places. So they might think that they're acting, normally what they're doing is acceptable to society, but to others they might be seen as unusual.
Every job and every situation in life regards some form of social communication and interaction between people, even if it's only the shopkeeper or the milkman. We just take that for granted. We do it intuitively. It's instinctive. But with people with Asperger's syndrome, have to think about it and worry about it. Am I doing this right? Am I saying it right? And that tiny aspect of our daily lives assumes enormous proportions in their daily lives.
The majority of individuals are functioning well within the normal range of intelligence. Some of them may have a history of language delay, and we tend to use the term able autism to describe those individuals, whereas people whose language development has not been delayed will often get given a diagnosis of Asperger's syndrome.
People with Asperger's syndrome can be very eloquent and very intelligent and tend to be quite focused on a specific area of interest, and on the face of it would not appear to need any support or services, but actually the support or services that are required to enable them to live an independent life can be quite basic. So for instance, on the face of it they may be very knowledgeable, intelligent about a particular area, but may struggle with the basics of day-to-day life, like doing their own washing or doing their own shopping. So that basic level of support is required to help them live an independent life.
It's just the way I am, really. It doesn't cause any problems as such. It just means that people are aware that sometimes I may behave a little differently. I think about things a little bit differently, and it doesn't mean that I still don't have problems, but it means that I'm more able to deal with them.
It's about tailoring services to meet the needs of individuals, and that means more often than not that existing methods and ways of delivering services have to be thought through carefully and quite often reconfigured. And I think the importance of autism is that it is a particular challenge by the nature of its variety and because people are on a spectrum to actually meet individuals' needs. So I think it's an extremely important subject to be covering.